Well. Hello, everyone. Great to see you all here again. My name is Juan Pablo. I'm a senior developer advocate here at Cline. Really excited to be back on another live stream back in 2026. We did a couple of these earlier last year. It was a lot of fun, and we wanted just to catch up with all of you, take some time, and just like join and talk more about some of the work that is happening at Cline. We have essentially a release every week, and this is a great opportunity just to tell you more about like how we're working, what is coming up soon, and also invite some friends and people that we have met through the community and through our time to share more about what they're building. So thank you all for taking time to be here. 8-bit Elon, yes, we want also more community engagement and more events. We're getting there. From my personal side of Cline, there's a lot of work coming up soon from more live streams, and also we're redoing a lot of our documentation to make onboarding a little bit more simple. But if you have ideas that you would like to see on Cline work more, like we're always super open to hear more from all of you, and just appreciate you taking the time to be here. Today we're really excited. We're having I guess that reach out last year. We were talking about video games and MCP servers and all of that. And it was kind of like a really impressive conversation. So I'm going to bring Ivan, and then I'm going to start telling you more about like some of the things that happened in the past few weeks within Cline, so that we can all be on the same state. Hey, Ivan, how's it going?
Hi, how you doing? I'm doing good.
I'm doing great. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to join. And I know this is like a weekday. Everyone is catching up to speed, but do you think you can give us a little bit more context, like who you are, what you're doing, where you're joining from?
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually from game industry, and first of all, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and that's pretty cool opportunity, and thanks everyone to join the stream. So yeah, I'm actually from game development area. I'm doing games, usually mobile games for iPhone and Android and XR devices. And today I'm gonna tell you more about how to use Cline and to make games in Unity engine specifically.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna drag you into kind of like just like brief updates about Cline and some of the stuff that we have been releasing. No need to comment, but definitely just wanted to have you here and not randomly waiting on the background. Hey, Gaurav, it's great to see you. Gaurav is our neighbor in the office, so it was great to see familiar faces here as well. Cool. So a ton of stuff has happened within Cline. We have had probably 3 releases since mid-December. Part of that, you could see like things slow down a little bit during the last half of December as people were starting to take a break. I took a break as well, just to be able to recharge batteries for what's coming this year. So some of the few things that I want to mention that we've been working on, and that probably, it's easy to miss these things with all of the releases that we have. is number one, we added a couple of new features in the feature settings that I would recommend anyone to take a look at. The first one is, if you scroll down, we now have a couple of new things here. The first one that I wanted to highlight is skills. Agent skills has been something that folks have been asking for a very long time, and I'm very happy that we're able to have them now. It's a little bit in an experimental phase right now, and we are gathering feedback from the community on things that we can do better. So essentially, you just come to your feature settings, you enable skills, click on done, and then this piece that is a little like weird is we have whenever you want to manage or get access to the skills that you have created, you can come to the bottom section of Cline and just click here. You'll see that we have skills here right aside of from rules, workflows, hooks, and here, as a user, you're able to create any amount of skills that you want. It follows the same principles that we have for other customizations with Cline, where you can have both like global skills if it's something that does not depend on a single project. But also you can have workspace skills. Create a new skill, super simple. You can just come here, do like a, I don't know, data analysis skill. And then click enter, and it will automatically set up everything for you to start creating skills or start making the skill. A common confusion that we see between the difference between like rules and workflows and hooks and skills, a lot of those might sound very, very similar within each other. But one of the benefits that skills has is that compare, for example, to rules or workflows. First of all, like from rules apply to every prompt that you use with Cline, and these are loaded into the context window. So if you want to have a ton of rules, this might impact the amount of context that you have available for doing your coding tasks. The recommendation there is like rules. Think about them if you absolutely need them for every single prompt that you're going to be writing for Cline. The difference with workflows, so workflows, you need to recreate a list of all of the workflows, and workflows essentially are step-by-step guides that Cline can follow depending on the task you want it to do. One of the things or the difference that we see between workflows and skills is that workflows, you need to remember the skills that are available. So you need to do a / command and then name the workflow. And the benefit with skills is that you don't need to remember which skills you have available. Cline can decide when to bring a skill up to action without you having to intentionally tell Cline which skill or which steps to follow. The benefit of that as well is that it reduces the cognitive load on you as a developer, because since you don't need to remember the skills that you have available or when to use them, Cline can take over that with more intuition. The other piece is like if you still want to have a deterministic way of calling these workflows or these steps or instructions or scripts, I would still use like workflows, because maybe you want to have some things that you actively ask Cline to do at certain points. So skills are out. We released a new skill this week called PR request that Robin made, who is also the developer that made the skills. Check them out. We have a whole blog post and documentation in our website. The other thing that I wanted to call out that also was a community request is background edits. So when you're using Cline, a lot of the time Cline will take over the focus or your cursor, and it will start moving as it edits different pieces of your code. With background edits, Cline will do all of those changes behind the scenes or without taking over your IDE. So if you want to continue to work in other files as Cline does these edits in the background, you can totally do it. It has enabled me, for example, to let Cline do some work and I'm doing other piece of work or reviewing other piece of like the projects that I'm working on. And it has been a great way for me to be a little bit more productive as I continue developing my projects. And I think like the last piece that I wanted to call out, we have web tools enabled. So we're working with a couple of providers to enable users to use these new web tools or new ways of doing web search and web fetch that is a little bit more precise in the way that it pulls data from the web. This is a very important distinction. Like, this is a different project or a different feature from browser use. So browser use will open an entire browser in your IDE or in the chat. Web tools are more specifically towards like search and pulling data from the internet. For web tools, you do need a Cline account and Cline credits in order to be able to use them. But still, I think it's very, very valuable and would recommend checking it out. Let us know how it's doing. And the last piece, we did a ton of like quality of life changes, but we have, as every week, a new model coming up to Cline Codex. GPT 5.2 Codex is now available in Cline. So take a look at it, experiment with it, and let us know how we can improve the prompt so that we can offer a better experience for all of you. That is all that I had in terms of like releases and announcements and new stuff that is coming. We have some new stuff coming up this week, but let us know what things we can do to help you out and to continue developing Cline and making it even a better agent for all of you. And during this live stream, like, we have chat enabled, so we'll be taking any questions or any things that you want to learn more about. This is specifically like a way for Ivan to showcase his awesome like work, not to talk too much about myself or the work that I'm doing. So Ivan, I don't know if you want to take us to go with your project, and I can bring your screen and get ready to go.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Also, a couple of words about skills. I would definitely recommend to use skills because that's a great feature in general. Like, it's the very easy way to avoid doing heavy prompts manually each time when you're gonna do something. Because like agent can easily take the right skill, like load the right knowledge, what's needed for specific task you're working on, and just use it in your prompt automatically. So that's, I would say, like optimization of a human time. You're gonna spend less time on typing because it's gonna take the data from somewhere else, which is cool.
One of the cool things that I like about skills is that it also allows you to bring other pieces of context. So you can bring, for example, documentation or load some code into it. So it doesn't necessarily like gonna fill your context with a lot of these other kind of like tokens that you don't necessarily want to keep on the context window. But at the same time, gives you a lot of power to do more complex workflows and more complex like work. I have a comment here. Really excited to see what we can do with Claude 4.5. I mean, you know, we're close to native is already kind of like here. I would love to know more about what you mean with Claude 4.5. But let us know a little bit more about that in chat. But yeah, Ivan, do you want to take it a go? Tell us more about making video games with AI and how can we achieve the dream of, I think like the dream of a lot of developers at some point is to make like a video game, and then you realize that it's probably one of the most complex pieces of software anyone can develop. So tell us more about like, you know, video game development with AI, and then I can jump in and just like have a chat every so often.
Yeah, absolutely. So do we share my screen right now? Just to be sure. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we're gonna talk today about Unity and how to use Unity with Cline. So first of all, let me give you a bit of understanding how it works. So Cline and Unity, they are two independent apps on your machine. So they cannot like by default connect together and work in pair. So you need to open this connection or like to establish this connection. And to make this happen, I made this project. This is an MCP for Unity Engine specifically. It works in editor time and in runtime, which just means if you're gonna make the build of your game, like Android application or iPhone application or PC or wherever, it still may connect to your MCP server remotely for any reason if you need to, but just in case. So yeah, and let's get started to make it real, to establish this connection. So the MCP server would need to be installed in two places. One of them is going to be Cline. Another one, it should be your Unity project. But probably let me give you a short tutorial how to make your new project in Unity. So first of all, you would need to go to unity.com and to download the Unity Hub. This is this application. It's kind of like a launcher of your Unity projects. And here you can choose a template of your project, what you would like to start from. And I would recommend you, I mean, it depends on what you want, of course. You can do a lot of different stuff like VR games, games for PC, for mobile, etc., or even for cinema stuff. But I'm gonna use the high definition 3D pipeline, this one. Why this one? Because high definition render pipeline, it has a very like high quality graphics in the project, and it's more targeted for PC and consoles. When universal render pipeline, it's more about like mobile, like Android and iPhone devices. So you can choose this one, type the name of your project right there, and just click on create project. And then it's going to open the Unity editor, and you're going to see an empty project. This one is not empty already. I put some stuff here. But when you're going to create it, it's going to be an empty project with some scene. And then the next step, as long as we have a Unity project and Unity editor installed and opened, we would need to install MCP server into the Unity project. And to make this real, you would need to go to this page. It's a GitHub page. This is an open source project which I made before. And you can click download installer. Let me do this right now for the demo. And then you would need to click on the installer file, of course, and you will see in the Unity editor this window. And when you click import, it's going to import the installer into your project. And when it's going to done installing stuff, you will get this window. And this is the main window of this MCP server, which works in Unity editor inside. I mean, let me correct myself. MCP server works independently, but this window is kind of like a bridge that's gonna let you configure some stuff. For example, you can disable or enable some tools, which is actually very important. And let me talk a bit more about this one. So in general, when you work with AI, you have a chat, and the chat has a context. It's kind of like AI memory. And each LLM, each model, has a capacity. The context is limited. For example, some models usually like have 20,000 K of context, and each word it's roughly a single token. So you are interested in to have more free context while you're chatting, while you're working with AI, because as only the context is going to be or close to be fully occupied by some tokens, the AI going to work less efficient. So, and why I'm talking about that? So each tool in MCP server consumes the context out of the box. So if you would like to get more free context, you can just simply get here and to disable the tools you don't need. In the case if you don't need them, for sure. So that's like a good tip to know. And also there are resources. You can also turn it off if you don't need them. Usually I do that. So, all right.
I'm sorry to interrupt here, but first of all, there's some folks asking for the GitHub link. That is right now in chat. I think it gets published on YouTube and StreamYard, but I don't know if the X folks get it. I don't know if you can just like share a little bit more of where to find it. And then I'm super interested in this context window component that you were talking about. I think managing the context window in projects like video games must be really complex, as these pieces of software can like become more large become larger as they go. But let's start with like the link first. It is Ivan Mursak and then Unity MCP. And then tell us more like the idea for you to, like, did you find any barriers when you were developing the MCP server with the context windows, or how did you come up with this idea of enabling and disabling certain pieces?
Yeah. So I was looking for kind of like an optimization, because like Unity in general has a very heavy files, and when you're gonna like give them for AI, it's gonna drain a lot of context just because of that. So this, at least disabling some tools, it's gonna get you more free space in the context. So that's like a good stuff to do that. I also have an idea a bit later to add profiles in that window in Unity. So like you would be able easily switch like different profiles of what tools should be enabled here in that profile or in this profile. But that's like the feature for the future. And yeah, if you're gonna look for the link or the project on the GitHub, you can type Ivan Murzak Unity MCP like this, or just in the Google search. It also should find it, and you will see this AI game developer project right there, and the download button is right there at the bottom. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back to the Unity. So in the Unity, when you have this window, you would need to do a couple of things. You would need to configure. You would need to take the configuration JSON for installing this one into Cline. And to do that, I would really recommend you to switch to streamable HTTP protocol, and to copy this string here. And let me switch to Cline real quick. So in the Cline, you can click on MCP servers right there, on the configure button right here. Let me delete this one for the demo. So you can click on this small button, configure MCP servers, and you will see this small text file right here. So, and you can just easily copy paste into it this configuration and hit Ctrl S, like save it. And that's it. So the configuration is already done. You only probably would need to, yeah. And the last thing that should be done, you would need to start connection right here. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say one more thing. To make this one to work, you would need to copy this command. This is a Docker command on your machine, which you can run in your terminal. Just like copy paste it and hit enter. And it's gonna start the Docker container for you. In my case, it's already there. So I just need to take a look at my Docker desktop. Oh, by the way, if this command fails on your machine, you would need to install Docker Desktop. This is this application. This is a free application. You can take it from docker.com, I believe. It's called Docker Desktop. All right. All right. Yeah. So as only Docker Desktop is running, like the window, you can type this command one more time. Or, oh yeah, it has the conflict because it's already created. So we can just launch it. All right. Yeah. And the server just gets started to work. Let's minimize the terminal. We don't need it anymore. Let's minimize the Docker Desktop as well. And let's take a look. So right here in this window, you may see we are get connected, which is good. So we have established a connection between Unity and MCP server. This part is work. Let's be sure Cline is also get connected. Let's click on retry connection. And we are good to go. So you may see this green circle right there, which means everything's fine. AI game developers get connected. So we are good to go. Let me move this stuff right here. And we can close this window. We don't need it anymore. And right now, we are in the Unity project. We can do whatever we want by just chatting with AI. And I have a couple of ideas what we can start from. For example, we have some stuff in this scene which is disabled, and we can ask AI to enable it. And that's going to be a particle system of dust, and it's going to be a particle system of butterflies flying right here in this location in front of this spaceship. So let me take the prompt, which I already prepared before. I'm going to put it here in the chat with Cline. And let's take a look how it's going to go.
Do you think you can make Cline a little bit bigger so that we can just like Command Shift or just like
yeah, sure. Something like
yeah, there you go.
this.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's going. It asks me to approve the MCP tool call, which is like we need to do that. We can also click after approve, and it's not going to ask us anymore. Yeah. So right now, what AI agent gonna do? It's gonna try to understand the project at the start, because like my original prompt was like find game object with name butterflies, etc., etc. So it's going to look for this object, and to find it, it would need to find the scene, then the list of game objects, and to find the specific one. And by the way, right now, we already have this command right here. I can understand it from the JSON, so it's going to activate that game object. Okay. And by the way, it's already here.
I'm a big fan of the new thinking animations that we have. A little bit more clear of what is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and we just get these butterflies right here. So you may see them. And we also have dust. It's barely visible, probably especially on the stream, but I can select it for you so you're going to see a bit better. So yeah, we have all of these dust particles around flying like that. It's very easy to see them when they are highlighted like this, but if I'm going to deselect it, they're going to be like that, barely visible. But they do some like pretty like cute visual effect when you are kind of like you are there in that scene. All right. And we can do another thing. So we have this spaceship right here, right? But this one is just white. There are no texture and there are no like material on it. And also, like I need to get to let you know, like AI is not at the good state right now to do everything from a scratch. You would still need to have assets, or you would still need to get the assets from some other AI solutions which are already available in the internet. Even free one also works good. So you would need to get like 3D models, textures. You can generate textures, by the way, from also like different AI stuff. But in this case, I already have this 3D model and I have some textures right there. But we just need to get all of this connected together. And I have a prompt for that one. So let me copy paste it in the chat with AI and let it ask it to do that. So it's pretty well detailed prompt. It has like like properties, what we should modify in the material and what it should do in general. So let's hit enter and let's keep it going. So it's going to work while we're going to keep talking. Yeah.
I wonder, like, I see you're using Gemini 3. What is the thought process of using Gemini?
You mean like in the settings configuration?
Or as the model?
Yeah, the model. Oh, yeah, right. So, by the way, yeah, I choose this model for a couple of reasons. One of them, it's like a large context, which is really helpful for Unity. Like, that's a big difference because Unity can drain context pretty quickly. So having a large context, that's a good idea. And also, this model is actually a pretty good one from like some benchmarks. And in my personal opinion, it also goes really well. It handles complex tasks pretty easily. So that's why I like it. Yeah. All right, let's take a look what AI is doing right now. So it tries to modify some stuff. Yeah, it still keeps going. So let's after approve and let it keep going. Oh yeah, and by the way, important notice, sometimes AI may fail by calling a tool or providing incorrect data like right now. So it tried to find the data and MCP server returned an error, which is totally fine. That's like completely okay because AI game developer, I mean, this MCP server is designed specifically to provide a very, very detailed error feedback to LLM back. So that's why LLM is capable to correct itself, to understand what was wrong, how to like fix that. So yeah, and it might keep failing for a while and until it's gonna find another way. And there are always a completely alternative solution with all of this stuff with AI. I mean, like I'm talking about a young game developer. It has a wide range of different tools, and there is, I would say, some backup tools. It's like to compile in runtime to compile a piece of C# code using a .NET or Roslyn compiler. It's Roslyn. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it not right. Yeah. So this compiler, it's like a pretty cool stuff because it's like it can compile on top of your .NET runtime environment, and it takes like just milliseconds, which works incredibly fast. And after compilation, it can execute that code immediately. So, and here's what it means. It's like if AI game developer, I mean, this MCP server gonna try to do something and it's gonna keep failing, it may just create a piece of code to do the job easily. And just because the C# code, it's going to be part of the Unity, it has access to any Unity API, which is like very, very flexible. And AI can do literally anything in the project if to just give the right prompt and description of what should be done. All right, let's take a look. So right now, it failed to modify some material property for the spaceship, and it's gonna try to modify the file itself, which is also gonna work. So we can approve it. Let's save it.
What I like about your workflow is that you still take some time to review the requests or the changes that the AI is trying to do. I think, especially with games, it's really easy to just like auto approve everything and let it just like YOLO the whole project. But I like
Yeah.
you're kind of like still keeping yourself in the loop and checking out what Cline and the models are doing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's completely depends up to you, like how you're gonna go. I just yeah, I prefer to take an eye what's going on because AI can sometimes go into a wrong direction, and if it's gonna turn there in that wrong direction, it may keep going for a long time, and better to stop it and to stop drain context. It's like gonna save you some money, of course, and some time. So yeah. All right. So yeah, and actually the task is done. So let's take a look. We have the material connected to the spaceship. We have all the textures there. So it looks pretty good, I would say. Um,
I think
and
now that
yeah,
it has the
so
texture, you can see the dust a little bit better in the dark parts. Now it's more visible, all of the particles that are moving around.
oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. Yeah, and we can get start to implement the next part. So what about adding some water, like ocean, all the way around? So we kind of gonna be on a small island, like in the huge ocean. So we can let AI to do that for us. So let me take the prompt and let me put it right here. Or maybe I gonna do a new context. By the
Mhm.
way, a good point right here. So when you work with AI and when you make a task and you would like classify the task is completely done and you're gonna start a new task, that's gonna be a good idea to start a new context window right here, like this. Why that? Because like you're gonna have a fresh context which is gonna be completely empty, and AI can like restart from a blank paper, from a blank list, which is a good stuff because AI can operate and can do much more space. It's gonna have much more space in the context. All right. So I prompted like activate the game object with name ocean, which is already in the scene, and it's gonna do the ocean stuff for us in a couple of seconds, or maybe a minute. It depends on
In the meantime,
how
people
fast.
here in chat are already saying that this looks awesome. Even the first small changes there, we're already getting places.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, what it's gonna do? Client wants to read the file. Okay, I don't want it to read the file. Okay, I can approve it. It's gonna be fine. So the file which is gonna read, that's actually my prompt, just markdown file, a small one, which I made before. to do not type during the stream because it's gonna take time. All right, and AI is already doing a bit wrong stuff from what I see. Let me try to re-prompt it a bit. I'm gonna like try to force it to use MCP tool because I see it tried to read a file, which is usually not a good point if you're gonna work with Unity, because we wanna AI to use MCP tools because that's a very efficient way to operate with Unity editor in comparison to reading files, because files, they are crazy huge, and that's not the efficient way. All right, so let me say use MCP tool instead of reading the file like this. All right. Yeah, sometimes like when you work with AI, you need to like to fix the direction where is it going. That's exactly what I said before. So that's where AI just tried to go into wrong direction, and we're just gonna prevent it.
Yeah. One of like the tips that we give for using Cline, and especially for this case where you want to direct the AI before it does all of the changes, is to use like plan mode. And then once Cline comes already with like a really good plan, you just like execute and act on it, so that it won't like modify files or try to do like crazy stuff before it start or before it goes. So I don't know. It's kind of like a good pro tip when you're trying to shepherd the agent to do like specific changes. I don't know if you wanna like we can give it a try, if it's already going other places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I see like it still fails. So I gonna try in my previous context one more time. Oh yeah, sorry, my
Or
previous
let's try
context
like
is right here.
if you set Cline like in plan mode, if you click
Mm,
on plan, and let's check it out if it will find its way without overwhelming itself.
let's try. All
Let's
right.
try.
Okay, so I'm gonna type the same prompt I had originally. So activate the game object with name ocean. Oh, and I actually gonna specify in the current active scene. It might help
Mm.
because like if you have a very generic, like very general prompt, it's usually gonna be hard for AI to understand what exactly do you want. But if you're gonna say specifically like in the current scene, in the Unity terms, it means the current scene is like what you have right now in your project. It's right here in hierarchy window. It's your current active scene. So it should help AI to understand it a bit.
Good. Yeah. Definitely like prompt giving Cline the right prompt helps a lot to get the results you're looking for.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. It's gonna try to read the same file one more time. Actually, gonna reject it if that's possible. Hmm. All right. Okay, no, it's still gonna try to read the scene file. Okay, actually, let's try. Maybe AI knows something what we.
Something we don't know.
Yeah, actually, I had a very funny story about this. I was coding with AI, like I'm usually using C# language. So I was coding with AI in C#, and it did a feature for me, which I asked it for, and I just did like code review, and I realized like this solution is like weird, and I did not realize like why and like for what reason. It's like overcomplicated to me, and I like rejected. I asked the AI to go in a different way, and like slowly in about like 30 minutes or maybe even an hour, I get to the point why AI did that at the early start, and it was actually right, you know.
Just like
So
find another way to do the same changes.
yeah. So like I was behind AI in that moment. So like AI was yeah. Yeah, so that's like sometimes it happens. All right. All right, so it found some stuff. Oh, I see. I see what it's gonna do. So it wants to modify the Unity scene file, which is like doable. We can allow allow that to happen, but that's not recommended with Unity. But we can try. So how to like activate this plan? Should be
Uh,
like
you can click on Act, and it will automatically like turn your the plan into it will load it into context, and then it will start implementing the plan. The good thing about it is that with plan mode, Cline collects a lot of context that sometimes with act mode is not possible. So depending on how big the task you're looking for is the way that we recommend kind of like interacting with Cline. Like if it's a very small change, sometimes did we crash already? Sometimes.
no. It's good. It's good. So Cline modified the file, and Unity shows the modification, and it asks us to reload the scene, which is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna click this reload button, and here we go.
Yes, I mean it's a little bit
Yeah.
taller. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, generally speaking, like on the context side and plan and act, like if it's a super small change, normally you can just like act it out. You don't need to give client a plan. When it's like a middle-sized change, I normally prefer having client to come up with a plan first, identify like the right files that you need to modify, and then implement the plan. And then if you have like a massive change, I did this massive refactoring this year where I updated a COBOL code base into Java. Super fun project as always. And first I came up with something we call deep planning, that essentially client comes back with like a huge plan on all of the changes and goes and reviews the project more deeply to identify the key changes that it needs to do, files that it needs to check, features that it needs to implement, and then it comes back and implements that plan. It's kind of really, really powerful. I have a comment here already from Andres, and he's asking, what small but key changes in Cline or MCP do you think would make AI truly indispensable for video game development?
That's a good question. Yeah, sorry. And may I ask you, like, from English point of view, what the word indispensable means? Yeah, I just don't know. Sorry.
Like, what is a key change, or no? Here is truly indispensable. It's like, we'll make it something that you really need to know, or something that you really need to use.
Yeah. Let me see. So, yeah, I would say like globally in general, when you work with AI, sometimes, especially when you work with AI on something like programming or engineering stuff or like game development as well, it's actually very important to still have a real knowledge about the software or environment which you operate with, because like you may need to. It's like human in the loop is still here, unfortunately, maybe. Yeah, or like it depends on your point of view on that stuff, but like there is no way completely optimize everything. You still would need to know how that stuff works, how this stuff works. So I heard somewhere from some smart guy somewhere on the internet, like AI is not letting you to make it isn't going to replace your skills. It's going to like multiply your skills. So if you have some knowledge, AI can speed up your development, speed up like your engineering task work, because like you can still like prompt much better if you know what should be done. You can fix AI if AI going to do a mistake, or you can like classify when AI is going to turn into a wrong direction, and you can like prevent it. So I would say your knowledge base, it's very important. That's like the one thing. And another one, it's like tooling and context. Oh yeah, and actually one more thing. In general, that's at least my personal opinion. And please feel correct me if you have another one, or like let's talk about this. But like I would say, when you work with any AI development stuff, there are three important things, and they kind of like in balance between each other. The first one is LLM model. It's like if you have better model, you're gonna have better results. The next one, it's the agent, like Cline, for example. If the agent is smart, it's going to operate more efficiently. It's going to take less steps to do the job, and each step may be more efficient than in comparison with less smart agent. And the next one, it's tools. So any agent and any AI model, it's like less efficient without smart tools, smart efficient tools that can do anything for you.
Mhm.
And that's why, like in AI game developer, I do provide a wide range of different tools right here. And they can do like a lot of stuff in the Unity project. And you also, by the way, can install extensions for some specific task you would need to do. For example, like animations is already installed in this project, and also Unity has a pretty cool plugin called ProBuilder. ProBuilder lets you create a prototype of 3D worlds like different shape, like stairs, houses, buildings, roads, some forms, shapes, uh, and you can let AI to do that for you as well. So it works like an extension. So three things: LLM model, agent, and tools. All together gives you a very high powerful AI development environment where you can do stuff.
Yeah, I 100% agree with all of that. I don't know. I think you're right on the three components that need to be improved. I wonder if in the future we're going to see more like fine-tuned models for like game development or for specific like tools, because one of my biggest like things with video games is that they are such a big piece of software that
Yeah.
I think models, as you mentioned, right, like context, managing context is super important, and having able to know the tools and all of the pieces is going to be complex for some agents. Um, so I wonder, like, if we're going to start seeing something like that in the future, where there's more models fine-tuned for video games or game development. Because right now, I think they're pretty good for like web development. I don't know for game development how good they are, and probably you're more of an expert in that sense. And the other piece
Yeah,
that I would
you.
be interested in like exploring more in the future is like which models are better for web develop for game development. I'm pretty sure like since they all come from different places with different data sets and pieces, like which one of them are the best performing for game development. And I don't know if there's like a benchmark for video games. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I actually have no idea, to be honest. I don't know. It's like, but this would be really cool if someone gonna train LLM models specifically for game development, like in Unity, Unreal Engine, and such a software. That would be really great. But I assume nobody is doing that yet because there is not yet well standardized tools, and it's very important because, as I said, the files in the game project, they are very heavy, and LLM cannot just read them like in the raw shape like that,
Mhm.
in comparison to code, because like LLM can easily read the text file like a code, like C#, C++, whatever, Python. It's very lightweight, it's very easy to read, understand. That's exactly tokens, exactly what LLM needs to operate with. But the game project, like game development project, it's heavy stuff. It's like scene, environment, graphics, visual effects, textures, and also there is very important part of the loop is still missing here in the game development. It's like, let's compare it with classic programming stuff when you have just code and you ask AI to make a feature for you. When you do that, you can easily ask AI to test it by unit test, to create
Mhm.
a unit test and to test the feature. And AI can like write code, write test, run test, fix code if something is wrong. So the loop is closed. So AI can like go in this loop forever and keep improving the project. Um, but in the game development world, when you have something visual, like these butterflies, for example, they are visual, and it's very hard to make a unit test that's gonna test them in one way or another. You
Yeah.
cannot test the trajectory. You cannot test like color, you know, um, because like color depends on a bunch of different factors like post-processing, light environment, direction. Maybe something gonna cover your butterflies between you and camera. Maybe it's gonna be a wall, So there is no way to make it easy. So it's still like under some research and development, and we're looking for a solution to let AI to make a screenshot of this window right now, and just to try to test it in that way, which is also going to be heavy because the screenshot it's a lot of tokens, and it's not going to be very lightweight operation, but at least it may work. So we're going to test it out a bit later. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I like Cline does use like the browser to test some of these things out. I wonder if this could be something that we extend from browser tools into like some sort of Unity game development tools. Because currently, like it can click stuff, move around the website, check out that it's working. But we don't currently have that for Unity, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to run the next prompt. So we have actually a pretty cool. I mean, in Unity, we have a lot of graphics and visual effects stuff, and I'm gonna ask it to make volumetric clouds, fog, and cloud layer, which gonna make like everything more beautiful in this scene. So let's check it out. How AI gonna handle that? So I just send it, and we would need to wait for a minute or maybe two until it's
Do
gonna
you
be
want
done.
to go through some questions that I have here in the meantime?
Sure.
Cool. So Ricardo is asking, can MCP make implementations or change directly to collisions? Or, for example, make it so that when the push of a button, the ship takes off and goes into space and the camera follows it? Like,
mhm.
I think the
Yeah.
idea here is like, can you make like something that reacts to other objects with AI? Like if you with the MCP server?
Yeah, definitely. That's like very easy to do actually. And I have the next prompt prepared for a very similar scenario. So it's going to be a controller of the spaceship, so we can fly around, and it's going to be a camera to follow this ship with some animation if you get enough time to make it real. So yeah, we're going to get to that point pretty soon. So just wait for it. But right now, let's take a look. We have a problem right there. So AI wasn't able to find this file, and that's not good. It's gonna try to read the file again. Okay, actually, no. Actually, it may work. Let's keep it going. Yeah, I'm asking that.
So yeah, whatever. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, and while it's running, maybe we have another question to.
Yeah,
to
we do.
answer.
People are asking, it's already possible to create high quality games using only AI, develop an entire game from scratch to store release without
Definitely
writing a single
no.
line of code. Codex even handles some Unity wiring for me. For now, your domain knowledge remains the key. So kind of building on top of that, he comes out also, well, Arden comes out also saying, of course, it's not like create a GTA 5 for me. Which we know
Yeah.
we've been waiting.
Yeah, if we are talking about complex games, for sure, it's not possible to make it from a single prompt. Even if you're gonna do like entire game documentation, it's called GDD, like game design document in game development world. It's still gonna be not enough. Maybe later. I mean, we are closely going like coming to the point where it's gonna be possible, but not yet. Not yet. I would say maybe a year or two. We would need to wait and to develop some stuff, especially agents. We would need to have a lot of agents. For example, like in game dev, we have many different professions, like animator, programmer, of course, level designer. Oh, by the way, we got the clouds just right now.
Oh yeah, we actually did a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Incredible.
did make it in another way, not one which I wanted to, but like who cares? It works.
I wonder if you because it seems like the clouds is following as well the direction of the waves.
Oh yeah, that's
Which I find
right.
super
Yeah.
interesting because, like, physically speaking, makes sense. But I don't know if that is something that you like prepared or like maybe like the
No,
AI.
actually, no. It could be like coincidence, very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is very like flexible in Unity project. You can configure everything. So like the direction of the wind, direction of the clouds, and I actually don't know everything in Unity. So maybe the wind is connected to waves direction and the clouds direction, but I'm not sure. I almost sure they are independent. Maybe it was just coincidence they're going in one direction.
So you can
Yeah.
ask, like, if you go to if you create a new task on Cline, and I love doing this. If you create a new task and go to plan mode, you can make questions, these type of questions to Cline, and Cline has like really good understanding on how these ecosystems work, and sometimes explains a lot of like really good technical details about software, or even Cline is good explaining itself. So I'm a big fan of that. So some other weird uses of Cline that I have.
Yeah. All right, I have another prompt. So the next thing, what we're gonna do, we're gonna add the animations to this spaceship. So if you take a look closely to the hierarchy of this spaceship, it has nested objects like engine and bunch of stuff. Just because they are independent, we have a full control of all of this. So we can ask AI to do an animation by doing some rotation, movement of all of these objects. And I have detailed prompt, which gonna explain to AI how I want to animate each part. So I'm gonna launch it. And while it's gonna go, I'm gonna show you all the parts this spaceship has. And I hope AI gonna handle that, and it's gonna create animations for each of them. So we have like this like legs, this part also animatable, and like these engines, of course, both of them. So my goal right now, that's exactly what I'm asking AI to do. It's like to make the animation of launching the spaceship. So it should be like launch, close the legs, turn the engines to the bottom, like it's flying up. And also it's going to be another animation for landing. So it's like inversed. It's opposite. It should open the legs and turn the engines to another direction. So that's the goal. And let's see how AI can handle that. And yeah, some spoiler, it may fail. It's like it's very hard to predict how. Yeah.
We'll see. It's the only way that people know that this is not a pre-recorded demo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for
Live.
sure. Yeah, and while AI is going, I'm gonna show you how you would need to test the animation in Unity. So in Unity, right here at the top, you have the window button, and you can find animation section and animation window in this one. Click on it, and you're gonna have this window. So we're gonna wait while AI is keep operating. I'm gonna allow everything what AI wants, even if that wants to do something I don't like. But let's try. And as only it's going to be done in this window, we're going to be able to see the animation parameters, and it will be able to play the animation to see how it looks on the spaceship.
That is rad. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
In the meantime, do you want? We have like a question here.
Of course.
I'm curious about the relevance of the memory bank feature in Cline, especially with the introduction of context compaction and features like skills and MCPs. How often do you use it in your day-to-day projects? I can jump into this one if you want me to.
Sure.
But memory bank, I do use it like frequently when, especially for my hobby projects, where I really want to have like a historical version of the changes that I'm doing. So for example, if I want to do like a project on my own and I want to ensure that AI is not like that client is not looping into the same like issues or problems or kind of like features, because sometimes like you ask for a change and then it kind of like goes in a cycle and undoes a change and redoes it, and it's like very very cyclical sometimes. So to prevent that, I use memory banks a lot of the times. Context compaction, my recommendation there is, it depends on how you're coding and what model you're using. I very rarely have tasks that go beyond like the memory context needed or available. So what I normally would do is wait until I get to like 70% and then start compacting the context to make sure that I keep like the history, but also being able to continue to use the same task. But I think like context management and context engineering is definitely something to keep an eye on. And features like skills and MCPs is just like, I'm super excited about skills. We have like some future work coming up soon on skills with more community contributions that we would love to hear from. And I'm kind of like really tailoring towards like skills for my projects beyond workflows, just because I have terrible memory and I don't remember the name of my workflows. And for MCPs, I just like use them a lot for interacting. So interacting with like external platforms. So for example, sometimes if we want to tweet to the Cline account, Nick made like an awesome MCP server to do that for us through VS Code. So I think like fairly frequently, I use a lot Perplexity MCP to get context from the internet, and Context 7 to pull recent docs. This was important when Django 6 came out. So just like some pieces of context there. I don't know if that responds to your question, but let us know in chat. Sorry, Ivan, do you wanna?
No, all good. It's perfect. Yeah, and I have some updates. So while you answered on that question, I spotted one issue. It was here. So right here at the bottom, in the client, you may click on Manage MCP Servers, like this, and you may see like what servers you have. And when I did that, I just noticed AI Game Developer had an error of connection, and I just clicked on retry connection, and it did fix the problem. So all of that problem I just had about like it did not call the right tool and it tried to modify a file, it was about that. And I actually noticed that before as well. So like sometimes when you open a new chat, you would need to double check MCP server status if that's still green. If not, you would need to reconnect it. I don't know why, but that may happen sometimes. And that's it, yeah.
Good thing that I have this recorded so that I can send it to our team and take a look at it as well.
All right, yeah, let's keep going. So right now, it's creates files somewhere in the project. Let me try to find them. They should be somewhere. Where actually they are? No. Oh, it should be a location. Yeah. Assets, white space, animations, dropship. Okay. White space. Yeah, right there. Animations. Perfect. Yeah, so we have a single animation file right here. And as I said, in the animation window, we can take a look how it looks like. So, yeah. We need to connect this file with the spaceship itself to see some difference right there. That's going to be the next step. Let me ask AI to make the second animation until we get to that point. That should be quick. That's another prompt. So the first one was launching. The second one is landing. And actually, you may see it's probably done, and very likely it's done good because here in the animation file, I can see it does modify all of those parts, what I was talking about, like engine, landing legs, all that stuff, different delays. So it looks perfect. So let's just wait for the second animation file. And as long as we're going to have both, we're going to put them on the spaceship and we're going to see visually how it's going to look like.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let me go through some. Do we have time for questions or? Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
Which frontier coding model right now? Codex 5.2, Opus 4.5. You let us know. What are you using? Personally, I've been a big fan of Opus 4.5, but between yesterday and today, I've been using Codex, testing it out. I haven't had enough time to really come up with an assessment of which one I prefer. But so far, I've had like really good results from it. Like I'm kind of like excited about it. I just need more time to code and work on it, and define like which one I'm going to be moving forward for or with. Opus 4.5, the only thing that I have is like it's ridiculously expensive. So if you can pay for it, like I would highly recommend.
Yeah, and it's like very depends on your task and your, I don't know, maybe like prompts of style of your prompts. It's like actually it's very depends on a lot of different factors. At least in my opinion, I remember I tried the same model on one project and another project, and results were very different.
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
Cool.
and I just dropped another prompt in the chat, and it's already executing right now, step by step. Let me auto approve that stuff. So yeah, we have both animations file right there, dropship landing and dropship launch. And right now, AI creates the animator controller, which is like the last piece of this puzzle, which is going to let us to bring all together and to see how it looks on the spaceship. And it's almost done. It's probably going to take like 10 seconds and should be good. And let me check, what do we have here? Oh, actually, it's already done. Should be, at least. No, it's still doing something. Let's approve. So let's take a look. Right here in Unity, if you select this specific spaceship, the hierarchy, or click it here as well, visually, you're going to see this inspector window. And in the inspector window, you may see like every component attached to it. And right now, we see the animator component is already here. So AI just added it for us. And it's already linked this controller, which is this file right there, which is AI also just created for us. And it should be good. So it should be ready for animations. But I definitely see one issue, because when I click on this game object and I'm looking at the animation window, I have no clips here, which means something is not yet done. And AI is still going, so probably it's going to connect everything together in a second. Oh yeah, it's actually, yeah, I see the result. Yeah, it's exactly modifying this dropship controller, which is exactly what we need. And it said it's done. Okay, let's take a look. So let me select this dropship, and no, we do not have the right stuff. Let's take a look. What do we have? What AI had done for us? So yeah, we have like different animations. I see where's the problem. So AI did miss linking the animation clips files, this one, to this animation states. That's how Unity animation state machine works. It's like you have different animation states and you need to connect a specific animation clip to them. We can fix it easily to make it faster manually. So let's see. When we launch in, we need to have this clip connected. And when we land in, we need to have this one here. Okay, and it should be good to go. Let's hit save and let's get back to this location and let's take a look on the spaceship. Okay, so we have the animation here. Let's take a look. This is one animation. Oh, actually cool.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, everything looks right. Everything looks right. Yeah, it forgot to close this door at the back, but that's not a big deal. That's launch. Yeah, that's launch animation. And let's take a look at the landing animation. This one. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it opens all of these legs at the bottom. You may see. It turns the engines down, like it's preparing to landing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that looks exactly right. Okay, cool. Yeah, we just did a tiny manual fix on top of AI, and everything else was done by AI. And that's cool. And let's go to the next part. I'm gonna drop the prompt and let's AI to work. And you if you have another question, let's go with that
Yeah.
one.
There's a question about the MCP server specifically. Does it work with Pro Builder?
Yeah. Yeah, so as I noticed, as I said a bit earlier, yeah, so ProBuilder, it's a plugin for Unity that's like lets you create a 3D worlds in Unity from primitives like cubes, cylinders, all that stuff. And yeah, I do have an extension for ProBuilder. I'm gonna show you right here. So right there at the bottom, there are two links. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. There are two links for additional tools. One of them is ProBuilder, another one is animation. So each of these projects, it's kind of like extension on top of MCP. So it gives you additional tools in this window. Oh, Unity recompiles the project because AI just modified the code. I did ask it for. So I did ask AI to make a spaceship controller. So we're going to be able to control the spaceship, and it needs to write it in C#. Yeah. So in this window right there, if you're going to open tools, you're going to see all the tools you have in the project, and if you're going to install any extensions, you're going to see more tools here. And by the way, a very cool tip about this AI game developer project. In the documentation, there is a section. Let me find it real quick. Custom, yeah, add custom MCP tool. Yeah, so right there in C#, you can easily, by just using a couple of attributes, like this one at the class name and this one at the method name, you can create your own tool by just dropping this amount of C# code in your project, and that's it. So it's going to be automatically detected, and you can even send. I mean, AI gonna send some input data if you're gonna set any input arguments into this function. And you can even use a custom data models. You're not limited by only string, integer, float, etc. You can like create even the complex class with anything you want. And it also AI gonna like respect the JSON schema, and it's gonna provide a complex data models. Like inputs or like outputs. So you can create any tool you want for your specific needs. Let's say you know how to make some stuff by C# and you want to just automate that stuff with AI, and you want to like spawn some levels or do some complex actions in your game development by executing the function. I even have a demo how AI plays the chess game using these tools. So I made only two tools with about like 5 lines of code. And one of them is for taking the chessboard data, another one for doing a turn in the chess game, which takes only 2 arguments as an input, like x and like position, x and y, and the figure type, I believe, or something like that, or sorry, and figure ID, and that's it. So LLM was able to play the chess game from the start to the end by
That's
just
nice.
using those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Guillermo from Brazil is doing like LLM versus LLM chess
Yeah.
tournaments. Really
Yeah, by
cool,
the way,
cool
cool
concept.
idea. All right, let's take a look back to the stuff. All right, so AI is doing something right now. Okay, I believe. Let's check. It said it's done. Okay, so it's probably made this controller somewhere. Yeah, I see. Spaceship controller. Yes, we have this one. AI did miss one tiny detail. It forget, but I'm pretty sure I prompted it. It forget to, yeah, it said it did it. It's point number 2. Add this controller to the game object, but it did not, unfortunately. So we can do it manually very easily. We can just drop it like this, and it's done. And yeah, that's actually it. Yeah, right now we should be able to play the game. So in the Unity project, yeah, right there at the top, you may see this play button. So let's click on it. Unity gonna do some stuff. It's gonna take a couple of seconds. And if everything is right, if AI did not fail in the C#, we should be able to fly right now. Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, we can fly. Yeah, I can go backwards and forward. I can turn.
Oh, that is so cool. I like the inclination and everything. That is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, looks really good actually. Yeah, exactly as I wanted. And it's actually very smooth because like it kind of like respects the mass of the object or fake it a bit. But anyway, it looks smooth. Yeah. Yeah, and we can go faster, slower, all of that stuff. The animation was not activated because that's gonna go in the next prompt. We're gonna do that. Yeah, we can go also like up and down like this. That's good. Okay, let's stop the game. And let's ask AI to do the next prompt for us, which is, let me find it real quick. Yeah, it's gonna be about the animations. Yeah. Let's drop it, and we can go with another question if we have any.
Yeah, we have a ton.
Okay, let's go.
Cline generating the diagrams, the state diagrams. Elon is saying here that it uses mermaid diagrams, but they're not interactive. I think the thing here is that these are very different from mermaid diagrams. I think this is more of a state machine for on Unity. So mermaid diagrams, I don't know if they're interactive. Last time that I checked, they were not interactive. So unfortunately not interactive, but something that Unity has. I don't know, you can correct me, Ivan, if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look. Yeah, I have a project with mermaid diagrams, and yeah, they are kind of like selectable. You can copy the text, but at least on GitHub, they are not interactable. So I cannot like drag
Yeah.
the square.
Someone reached out to me on Twitter about some new diagrams. I need to check that out. But yeah, unfortunately not interactable right now. And then
yeah, and that question was probably about this diagram here in Unity.
exactly.
And yeah, this one is like internal Unity canvas, and that's animator state machine. So yeah, it's completely different stuff, and it's very internal to Unity only.
Cool.
Yeah, and just to clarify what did happen here. So AI did use MCP tool to add all of these states, and you actually may see it mistakenly added duplicates of them for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was some error, and AI did try a couple of times. But it did the job right because it also made this transitions. You see, like these lines going from one state to another, which actually was done very right. So if you like keep an eye on it, it starts. So entry, it's like the start point. Then we go to landed. So we always start from the landed state, and then from the landed we only can go to the launch state, which is also right. And from the launch state, we only can go to flying, and from flying only to landing and to landed. And that's like the loop. So we can like land, fly, and keep going, and like it's going to be the same loop. And we can stay at any of this animation for longer time if needed. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So actually, that should be good because AI did complete this prompt. Let me check it out.
Okay.
Let me start the game one more time. It should work this time. I hope so. Let's see.
I'm really surprised how much we have achieved like in an hour and 20 minutes. Like we have done so much.
No,
No, did not
doesn't
connect.
work.
Damn it.
Doesn't work. No, something was not connected. We still can fly, like but animation was not triggered automatically. Oh, hold on. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, I see some warnings in the console. It's like saying parameter on landing does not exist. I see. Okay, so the script has it, but the animator machine, this exact window, doesn't have it. So the transition was not triggered. We can we like fix it manually maybe? That's like a bit cheaty, you know. It's like the goal to let AI to do everything, but sometimes it's gonna be hard. And just to make it quicker, we can try to make it manually. Hold on. trigger. Yeah, so we can do that right now, real quick. So what was the name of this? On landing, on launch. Okay, on landing, like this, and another one, trigger on launch. Okay, and we somehow need to use them. If only I remember how, it would be good.
They can have like a AI versus human and see who does it first.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. Yeah, I
Cool.
wasn't remember for sure. Yeah, so that's here. So when you click on this line, you can like add conditions, and it's gonna be triggered by this trigger.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
when the
thank you.
trigger.
Artem is telling us you have to add transition.
Yeah.
Nice. We have some game experts here as well in chat.
Oh, that's cool. Appreciate it. Okay, so we did fix that manually, that small part, and let's check it out in the game. So I did ask AI in my original prompt to use F button on a keyboard to trigger that landing animation. So let's take a look how it's gonna go right now. I do click F, and oh yeah, it did work,
It did
but
a thing, yeah.
it was glitch. Not anymore.
Maybe you can
Yeah,
only use it once or
yeah,
something.
yeah. It did play once, but then it's like
Glitched.
something didn't go well. Yeah, so you may
Oh,
see like it's not perfect yet. There are still some stuff you would need to handle manually, or you can actually try to prompt it with AI. Maybe I can fix that, but who knows? It might take like a long time to do that.
yeah.
And I have one more prompt to run before we're done, and that's gonna be camera following. So right now, as you noticed, when I fly, the camera is not following the spaceship, right? Which is like okay for some kind of games, but in this specific case, I would like to camera follow the spaceship so we can like go like far away from this original position, like around the ocean, all that stuff. Okay, so I just did that. I hope so. Or maybe not. Maybe you can check it out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think AI did that right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but what we're gonna see. Yeah, it did not. But let me do the fix manually. Yeah, manual fix works. All right, so yeah, we have the spaceship. It can fly around. The camera follows us. The shadow works well on the ocean surface. There is our launching platform. The animation did not work properly as we wanted. Automatically did not work. Yeah, but at least everything else works pretty cool.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and we
That's
can
incredible.
go down and top. Yeah.
I wonder when it decides to turn on the engines, because I see it like turning on and off. Maybe you stop. Oh, that is so cool. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, what? I didn't do that actually.
That is so funny. I love it.
Maybe that's like a shadow just covers them. No, actually, yeah, definitely something happens with the engine. It's not shadow,
There's something
and it's
weird there.
definitely yeah, and something weird because like when I slow down, nah, I didn't. I don't follow it. Like I'm not following what's going on. Yeah, definitely something is happening with the engine color.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like right now you see. Strange. Yeah, I didn't prompt that. It's like probably AI did something
Yeah.
automatically.
That is kind of interesting that it has some sort of notion of physics.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool. I think we'll have
Yeah.
to wrap it up. We extended 20 minutes for almost 30 minutes than we initially
Yeah,
intended.
sorry for that. It was
But it was a lot
longer.
of fun though. I added here in chat. Sorry, y'all. My voice is breaking now. I'll add here in chat. This is Ivan's YouTube. Go check it out. Subscribe, subscribe, watch the videos. A lot of more content coming out soon. I don't know, Ivan, do you have anything else you'd like to add? I mean, to be fair, we did a ton of stuff today, like from having the rough skeleton to get to this point, I think this is really cool, and I'm a big fan of all the things we were able to do today. But what about you?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining the stream, like watching the CI stuff. We are definitely like living in the very like impressive moment of time of the human history, because like we are very close on the edge of something huge, I believe, and we're gonna develop like a pretty cool stuff with AI, and our life gonna be very different soon. I hope better, not worse.
Pretty sure, for sure.
Yeah.
There's still gonna be some manual edits though, but pretty cool stuff. Thank you all for joining. We are scheduling another session in 2 weeks with some guests that I'm still cannot say much more about, but it's gonna be really cool. Thank you, Anum, Artem, for helping us out. Ayahuasca data scientist, Elon, for joining. All of you, thanks for spending some time here with us on this Thursday morning, evening, night, depending where you're joining. Um, Thank you, Ivan, for taking the time as well for making this cool demo and working out with us in all of the small bugs with AI. Definitely, I see a lot of potential for gaming and AI. I think models are only going to get better, and I think video games are one of those things that inspire a lot of people to get started into coding. Uh, and hopefully, we'll get more people feeling comfortable with code and building really cool projects on their own with AI.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thanks for your time and thanks for everything. Yeah.
See you all in a couple of weeks. Take care.
Yeah. See you next time. Bye bye.